We'd like to thank BetChrisCanada.net for their support of the Hockey Betting Podcast. I'm Brian Blessing in sunny Las Vegas.
And I'm Cam Stewart in cold Toronto, Canada.
If you love hockey and you're in Canada, and Cam is, by the All-Star break, even if you can't stop thinking about taking a vacation someplace sunny and warm, but you don't want to miss out on any of the hockey action, look for a BetChris near your next holiday destination.
BetChris is one of the leading sports books in the Western Hemisphere, with hundreds of sports betting locations throughout the Caribbean and Latin America.
Watch the game at a BetChris location. Food and drink specials and VIP lounges are available at many BetChris locations. Use the promo code PODCAST when you open your BetChris account.
Place some bets on your game and collect your cash at the window when the game is over.
BetChris offers single bets, parlay bets, teasers, and more on pregame and live odds for hockey and all your favorite Canadian and American sports leagues. And BetChris offers a variety of team and player props, including futures.
BetChris offers the best value odds on Canadian and international sports. Use the promo code PODCAST when you open up your account at a BetChris location. Deposit $750 or more and get up to a 40% reduced commission on your sports bets, up to minus 106 on single bets and parlay bets. That's the best juice in the biz.
So, if you're planning a trip to exotic locations from the Caribbean and Mexico to Peru and almost everywhere in between, the odds are very good. There's a BetChris Sportsbook where you're going on holiday. For more information about visiting a BetChris location while you're on holiday or to listen to or subscribe to the Hockey Betting Podcast, visit BetChrisCanada.net. That's BetChrisCanada.net. Cam, you're Canadian. When you leave Canada and you're heading south, use the promo code PODCAST.
You're listening to the Hockey Betting Podcast, presented by BetChrisCanada.net. This is the Hockey Betting Preview for Thursday, October 24th, 2019. And now, live from Las Vegas, the host of the Hockey Betting Podcast, Brian Blessing.
All right, boys and girls, it's our favorite time of the day when we talk hockey with Cam Stewart. Brian Blessing in Las Vegas, north of the border. He's the one, the only, the Raging Redhead Cam Stewart. We're going to have a couple of giggles, but more importantly, we're going to get you some winners. Because, and I can say that with confidence, Cam, because literally we've come out of the gate pretty strong. But you know what? And it's not a pat on the back. You're being self-flatulent here.
People, Barry Horowitz?
We know what we're doing here.
We do.
Hockey, seriously, I mean, I'm not being a jerk. I mean, hockey, history repeats itself. The eyeball test, I'll throw one little one at you, just real quick. And I'm not knocking the guy because he's a good guy, and I'm not even going to mention his name. The guy on the radio here, I'm driving home after my show the other day, and he's kind of a, well-known guy, a handicapper guy.
Yeah.
And they're doing, and now they got a new guy comes on, some hockey betting thing. And, okay, so they're talking. Okay, well, there's a rare one tonight, and it's a West Coast team and an East Coast team, and it's a back-to-back situation. And, the first game home from a long road trip. Okay, that makes sense. That's a thing. San Jose and Buffalo. And they're going on and on and on about San Jose. And you and I, we talked about this game the other day. And so I know the guy. So I text him. I'm driving. I text him. FYI. I'm like, I'm throwing him a cautionary tale while he's doing this on the air on a different radio station. And I go, the Sabres beat the Sharks with Ullmark. Now they're coming home with Hutton, who's coming off back-to-back shutouts. It's like danger, Will Smith, danger. Like, what
danger? Yeah, no. And dude, do you not understand anything? Like, there's just certain things that happen in hockey.
Buffalo, so wait,
San Jose, if you watch hockey, you know that.
Well, buddy, so it gets better. It gets better. So they finish the thing, and then, I'm still in the car, and now it's the tail end of the day, and they do our best bet of the day segment, and I'm going. And I sent the guy the text. He goes, our best bet of the day. We talked about this game earlier. We're to San Jose. and I'm sitting going, right, well, okay. Buffalo's down 2-0. Eichel goes bananas. They 2 goals, 2 assists. They're on a dead run. They're on a heater. But Cam, with that win, all time, Buffalo is 19-2-1 against San Jose at home.
It's unbelievable.
19-2-1. but we're going to make San Jose the best bet of the day.
Oh, no, and the crazy thing was, too, I remember that night, too, because we were down, Gabe and I, we were doing a remote. It was the Raptors opener. The Leafs were playing Boston. And I remember, I'm like, wow, the San Jose's up 2-0. My buddy leans over me and goes, don't worry about it. Buffalo's coming back. Boom. What happens overtime? They get the winner, Brian. Sometimes people, you just don't learn. Hockey, you said it. It's a sport that repeats itself. And you know what? I've been on fire except for the other night, too. And then I forgot. I'm like, Edmonton's been on a heater. I'm like, every time they play Minnesota, something bad happens. Edmonton was hot. Minnesota beat them 3-0. So it's not just about analytics and all this. No. You have to know past matchups. Certain teams they don't play well against teams.
Buddy, you'd be proud
That's
of
the
me.
way it works.
You'd be proud. And I swear to you, this is not, I gladly root for the Sabres. If I think they're going to lose, I'll saddle up the totals. If I think they're going to get killed, I'll bet against them. I could care less. I watched that game. San Jose's up 2-0. One was a puck shot from the point that was deflected 4 times on the way through. It was amazing. It was bing, bang. It hit 4 different things coming through. And other than that, it was like a dead even game. And I'm sitting there, in-game wagering. At the end of 20 minutes, they're down 2-0, and they're 18-2-1 all-time at home against them. And Buffalo's plus 380.
Oh, I know. That's. I'm like,
going to tell you guys something. I jumped in plus 380, and they won.
I do a show at night. In-game live, and I was telling people we had a couple hockey guys on, good guy Ian Cameron, a couple other guys. He lives up in Hamilton. We were talking about it, and these hockey lines, when you're down a goal, it's insane. The puck line, the money line moves anywhere from like minus 180 to minus 260. It's crazy. It's a 1-goal hockey game. I'm getting a team at a pick'em to plus 240. Are you nuts? They're down 1 goal. Like, I can't, and that's the thing. It is the best sport to set up a plus on one side, a plus on the other. Sit up, smoke a cigar, have a cognac, and you got double plus money on both sides. With people with huge bankrolls, you can make a killing playing hockey if you have money. Just show patience. The other team can score first. You can get both sides and make it. Like, I've seen it done. It's the best sport for that 1 goal. Who cares about 1 goal? Teams are coming back from 3 and 4 goals now. It's a different league.
It's a hockey story. It is Buffalo-related. Forgive me for that. But to what you're saying, this is about 4 years ago, or whatever it was, 5 years. It's the tank season. Like the Sabres were trying to lose to get McDavid or Eichel, right? And I'm out, and a friend is in from out of town, and we were actually out at Sunset Station. It was like a day of the football parties, and this guy, he comes running up to me, and he's all, he goes, well, wait till you see this, and he shows me the ticket. I go, first of all, you're an idiot. It was a buddy of his, and this guy's got a 4-teamer, and he's got Buffalo plus 375 at Detroit, and the first 3 games are in, and it's like a monster payout.
Yeah,
right. And Buffalo's up 4-0 on Detroit in the first period. And they really hadn't started doing the in-game wagering yet. And I looked at the guy. I go, I swear to God, if they offered in-game wagering,
get out.
I said I would dump a truck on Detroit. They'd have to be 15-1 now. They're down 4-0.
Exactly.
I would dump a truck on Detroit. Right. He looks at me like I got 10 heads. Yeah. Detroit won 7-4.
I remember that game. I actually remember that game. No, it's crazy. That's the thing about hockey now. It's like these 1-goal leads and stuff. You see how much they call the penalties, Brian, the power plays. It's one of these things like I almost look for now, a team down 2-0 early at home, like the Sabres situation against San Jose. You can make a lot of cake.
For outstanding information and special offerings and promotions, we invite you and encourage you to sign up for our newsletter today simply by going to the website, betchriscanada.net. All right, so let's try to make cake tonight, and let's go right back to the well here, and we're going to focus on these 2 teams, the Buffalo-San Jose game. Next game, San Jose's at Montreal. Cam, you tell me, buddy, this is like an unwritten rule. It's a weird thing. When you talk about people that know hockey or don't know hockey, or that when you watch the team's broadcast and these guys are scared of their own shadow and won't say anything. I'm watching that Sabres game the other night, and it's, I'll do something different. I put the San Jose post-game show on.
Yeah.
All right. So they go in the locker room, And Logan Couture says something that I literally fell off my chair. I go, you got to be kidding me. And after he says it, they go back to the studio in San Jose, and the guy goes, okay, we'll be right back on the Sharks.
Oh, I know exactly. He called out his buddies.
I'm going, are you kidding
I know.
me?
That was awesome.
Those guys ignored it.
Crazy.
Ignored it.
Crazy.
And I'm going, that's a national story.
It is a national story. It's funny you mentioned that. For my other show, Brian, I put that story in there. He's ripping on these two guys for being selfish in overtime, and you're not even talking about it. It's a huge story. You don't usually see players going, those guys, that was brutal. He called them out, LeBanc and the other guy.
Timo Meier.
Yeah, and Timo Meier.
It was a bad change in overtime. But he said, here's the thing, Cam, that's weird. And how do we get this into handicapping tonight? I know where I'm going with it. But when he said it, I almost fell over. Here's the thing. He's a new captain now because Pavelski's gone.
Yep, correct.
You close the doors and you rail on these guys and you beat them over the head with a kendo stick, right? But to go out and do it in the media.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, whoa. I mean, he said that the two guys. Yeah, because by the way, he was the guy. He ended up getting a minus on the thing because it was him and Thornton that came on the ice on the bad change. So he had a stone in his shoe. But he's two guys out there looking for offense. They're out there entirely too long. It's selfish. There's no place for that on this team. Whoa!
No, that's hard.
Something's wrong there, baby.
Oh, I know, and that's the thing. Like, I usually like to come back to a team like San Jose. They were. Yeah, I'm thinking about the same thing, Brian. And this is what people don't understand. Like the back-to-back, it's like, oh, they lost to this team, they're going to lose again. No, it's completely opposite. They had a lead against Buffalo. They pissed it away. They're angry. They're still, there's a lot of old guys on that team, but it's a personal pride thing too.
This is not a hockey game tonight, Cam. This is San Jose. They're in last place now.
Yeah, I know.
In the Pacific Division. But I'm telling you, this is a team tonight that either goes off the train tracks or turns their season around. I mean, I'm playing San Jose tonight in Montreal.
I am too. I'm playing San Jose. I think we're getting 15 cents. It's tough. Montreal's a tough barn to play.
Yes,
but
they are.
Another thing, too, San Jose has a couple French Canadians on their team. I think every time you go to Montreal, it's special. People talk about Toronto. Well, Montreal, I would say even more so for the history there. People get jacked up. The fans are great. And the good thing about Montreal, too, if you're a visiting team, if you score early and beat them down, the fans can turn on you quickly. I like San Jose in this spot as well. I worry about the goaltending, Brian. I always do with Dell Computers and Jones. I really don't think they're a great tandem.
Jones and Price.
Yes, yeah. The price is always right with Carey. You know how good he is. But
I know
San Jose. The thing is, they're going to play for Jones tonight too. You said it. Bad defense, bad line changes everything. These guys are going to tighten it up tonight. It's a 6.5 total. San Jose, I think, is going to score the goals tonight, but I'm not even going to worry about the total. It probably goes over, but I like the Sharks. I like the Sharks, exactly.
Yeah, we're on board.
Hey, all right. SJ Sharky plus 15.
All right, and then listen, ride the wave, babe, and I'll just say this to you. Buffalo you look at the standings.
Buffalo.
They're first overall.
Hot.
They got the best record in the league.
Yep.
They're playing 12 games in 23 days because they're going to this Swedish thing to play Tampa Bay back-to-back days. Their season was on the line. They came out. The one thing with Kruger, the new coach, they didn't overreact. They said, well, what happened? You rallied. You won that game at San Jose. Were they going nuts in the room after your first overall league? He said, no. It's like they don't panic when they're down. They're keeping it in the moment. They know what happened last year where they were first overall early and coughed up a lung. This is a different group with a different coach, a better defense. Eichel is on a dead mission, and they're playing the Rangers tonight. I don't like laying juice in hockey, Cam. My rule is I would never lay more than 30. Buffalo's 25 cents at the Garden tonight. I think you got to do it, and I'm telling you, I take the puck line tonight. This team is feeling it.
Getting greedy, Brian. No, it's nice to see, too. Josh Allen, Bills quarterback. Other turkeys are rolling in, these NFL guys with their top hats and scarves like they're on the runway in Hollywood. These guys wearing a Buffalo Sabres jersey. I love it. And that's the thing. Bills are winning. Sabres are winning. It's a whole – people don't understand about a town like Buffalo. You live there. It's tight, right? And these guys feed off each other. When things are going well, it goes well for both teams. And I think the Sabres look at the Bills and go, wow. And the Bills are looking at the Sabres going, this is amazing. So these guys, they go to each other's games. I love Buffalo too. Rangers, it's a tough barn to play. I like the young kids on that team. I think they're going to be a play-on team. I would really like to see them start Georgiev a lot more than the King Henrik Lundqvist. He's getting a little bit long at the tooth, Brian, and it's kind of like a horse. You got to put him out to pasture eventually, but a legend. But it's one of those things I think the Rangers need to grow with the young team. As for Buffalo, you said it. Hey, remember Seinfeld? Hey, Cougar, your company sucks. Well, Kruger's doing a great job with Buffalo. It's the opposite. Hey, Costanza, he's doing awesome. Like the stock is, it's through the roof right now. The Sabres, I will lay the quarter.
Yeah, I'll tell you. That's
in
funny.
overtime. Is that what I sound like? No,
Yes,
better than
it
me,
is.
Rick. Better than me. I love Rick.
The
I love Rick
Jenner
Jenner.
reference.
You see, you see, too. What was it? Did you see that Sabres broadcast? They got some young kid out there, and Rob Ray wanted he's like going to punch him in the face. Was that you who told me that story too, Brian? We saw it. Like some kid. It was just like he's like, yeah. I forget something happened. He was like being a little like a kind of like a smart ass or something like that, and like Rob Ray's just kind of, it was
a guy. Kid actually ran on the ice.
Oh,
that was in his playing days.
Yes.
No, it was. You saw it. It's out there. It's actually me. It was the TV broadcast that night. It's out there. Go. Rob Ray hits fan on the ice. Go Google it.
And
it's me on the TV in Buffalo doing the report of Rob Ray. And this jackass runs on the ice. And Ray hit him with so many rights, the kid was begging for a left.
Unbelievable. I got to watch that. You're commentating. This guy beat up a fan. Amazing.
Yeah, well, good.
The Sabres broadcast is kind of interesting, Brian. I know you're in Vegas now, but I know a lot of those guys are great guys, but I'd love to see you back on it, man. You do a good job. And that idea that we had for the post-game show where we're not friendly, where we rip players would be a real hit.
It's still breathing, buddy. But hey, listen, the Golden Knights are 7-4. Okay, I'm out here. They're ready to throw parades. I go,
oh yeah.
Guys, are you watching this? They're lucky to beat Chicago.
They are.
In 3 of the last 5 games, the coach is mad. He's calling them out. I mean, right now the stars are crossed. They're blessed. And I'm standing here with it. It's a love fest, and I'm sitting there going, come on, you got Fleury, and you're sitting here with a top 6 that's terrific. And the team is built to win now, and you've got 2 realistic good years of Marc-Andre Fleury left. Let's cut to the chase. And their answer is, Nate Schmidt's out. Nate Schmidt is not Bobby Orr.
No, he's
all right?
not.
They are not. This defense is not good enough to win a Stanley Cup.
I agree.
You're in a bad division. You're going to make the playoffs, but everything's lollipops and rainbows out here.
I'm going to tell you. The Vegas team right now, they're fade material because the Vegas, New Jersey, all the legalized sports states know how good Vegas is. You can't get these guys at a good price. When they're at home against a bad team, they're laying like 260. Like that's the thing. Vegas
Ottawa should have beat them.
Yeah, this is not the Vegas Knights that looked amazing before. There's obviously problems, and you know what, Brian? I hate to say it. If we find our price, we're going to attack that team, and it has to be a love fest there. Think about it. You're in your first year of existence. You go to a Stanley Cup final. Leaf fans will do anything. They'll give they'll give body parts to see this team go to a Stanley Cup. Buffalo, they're yearning. Like that's the thing. It's been a spoiled marketplace, right? So they're not really going to attack the team, but you do it from a realistic point. You've seen bad teams. You've seen good teams. You've been around the block. This is new for a lot of these guys, and they don't understand. It's they're still loving it. And they think.
Well, I'm watching the game.
Everything's candies and rainbows with these guys.
I'm not saying I'm George McPhee, but these guys have seen a lot of hockey, and I just put myself in George McPhee and Kelly McCrimmon. If they're sitting up there watching this team,
they're not happy.
No dummies. They're sitting there going, I'm telling you, a deal's coming at some point. They've got to get if it's an upfront player, a big name guy, or a bunch of draft picks and a good young defensive prospect. They got to get a stout, and I'm not saying him, but a guy like a Vlasic. They need a top
veteran defenseman.
Defensive defenseman.
Who doesn't need one though? Look at the Leafs. Have you seen their defensive core? It's a train wreck. Anderson's keeping them in games. Like this offense with that defense, that's the problem. Great. You could score 5-6 goals a night. The other team's all over you. Like that game against Columbus was an embarrassment. Like they should be shot. Like it was it's just gross. Like I watch this defense, I'm like, these guys suck. And that's the thing. And you got some of the best forwards in the world, and you're throwing these pylons back there. Like it's unbelievable.
You read my mind because that's where I was going to come at. I said the same thing. Talk to me about Toronto. I just don't think in this day and age you got three guys or 48% of your cap. You can't win. I mean, that's great. Yeah, we got Marner, and we signed.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. They're missing.
You don't have a defenseman.
No, you have no defenseman, and that's what people don't understand about hockey too. Sure, you got big names. It doesn't mean jack. Guys like Zach Hyman, all the guys that did all the little things, the dirty work, kill penalties, good in both ends of the ice. Those are the guys you miss. Like, guys are talking, oh, Tavares is out, dog. But that's not the reason. It's guys like Hyman. It's those worker bees that you need on the team. Second, third line guys that go in there, they pummel guys in the corner, they come back, they play responsible hockey, and they're like having another defenseman back there. You can't win with the guys they have now. I agree. Vegas and Toronto are going to be in line for a defenseman, and other teams know that because they're cup contenders, right? It's not going to be cheap, Brian. You're going to have to give a team that gets rid of a good blue liner, they're going to get draft picks, they're going to get the kitchen sink and the house. It's going to be crazy, the cost.
I'm a Don Cherry disciple. Listen, people, he's a polarizing guy.
No, he's great. He knows his hockey better than anybody.
I disagree with a handful of things he says. But I'm telling you, when it comes to hockey, he is a visionary, and he sees things before others do. And I'm telling you, he made a great point the other day. And there's a game tonight. Anaheim's at Dallas. Dallas laying $1.50. Total on the game is 5. Okay, you got Gibson and Bishop. But what's going on? I said in the offseason, and people thought I was insane. I'm like, oh, boy, maybe I was way off on this one. I said St. Louis is going to struggle just to make the playoffs this year. And they came out of the gate, and they were on a heater. And I'm like, well, I messed that one up. Well, not so fast. All of a sudden, they hit the skids big time. And now I think you can throw two teams in the same hopper. Now, St. Louis is 4-2-3, but they're chinks in the armor. And Dallas is 3-7-1. But here's what's going on, Cam, and this is what Don Cherry said, and you can apply it to Dallas. In a playoff series, Colorado's a nightmare with their speed. Playing the same team night after night after night. St. Louis is a dangerous team in a playoff series, beat you to a pulp night after night after night in a series, the same team. But over an 82-game grind, you may beat a team up, but you lost the game, and that team will go lose their next game when they're out of town. But they beat you. So St. Louis and Dallas are trying to play physical playoff hockey in the beginning of the season when it's pond hockey, and they're losing.
Thing is, too, if you look at St. Louis, who was a perfect storm last year, look at all the guys that overachieved in the playoff. Jaden Schwartz, all those guys. You're the guy who told me the line, Brian. Water always finds its level, right? And that's the thing. These guys were good hockey players, but they were playing out of their minds because, they were smelling the Stanley Cup. They got really excited about it. It's not going to happen again. You know what I mean? Very few teams in sports are like the Patriots. You rest on your laurels. It's going to be tough to go and do it again and have the same hunger once you've already won. I'm not sure if I'm going to take the Kings at plus 155. They got their own problems, but the Blues are fade material, and isn't it funny? They played their best game. Who do they play against? Colorado, a team that's one of the Stanley Cup favorites. They brought their A game that night. But I'm with you. Their lines are inflated, and the Western Conference, these guys are going to beat the hell out of each other. So I think I'm going to be fading the Blues a lot, especially as big favorites.
All right. I'll throw it your way, Pally. Anything on the card tonight that sticks out? I mean, we love.
It's tough. Like, I don't know what
heavy menu.
It's a tough board though. I love where you're going with the Sharks. I love that. I lean Sabres as well. 25 cents over the Rangers, Arizona, and the Islanders. Can you believe we have a 5 on the board? I feel like we're going back in time, Brian, in the hot tub time machine. We never see 5 totals of 5. We got another one in Anaheim and Dallas. 2 on the board tonight. I think Anaheim might be getting a look for me tonight. I'm not laying 50 cents with the Dallas Stars. They won their. Remember that night we talked about it? They barely beat Ottawa. What was it, 2-1? It was a 2-1 final there. You're getting 30 cents with the Ducks. I'd be looking at that. Chicago's been a little bit snake bitten. It's basically a pick 'em against Philadelphia. That looks interesting to me. What do we do? Minnesota, ever since they've come down on Boudreaux, they've been winning games. They blanked Edmonton. I don't know about tonight though. What tickles your fancy? And the Oilers are starting to come back down to earth. I might lay a quarter with the Caps on the road. What are you thinking?
Yeah, no, my 2 games are the ones out of the gate. I do like Buffalo, San Jose. Those are my big plays.
What about the Panthers?
I usually
Panthers versus Flames. What about the Panthers? Are starting to get it together a little bit.
Yes, they are. I would think goals in that game if I had to play it, because I play total 70% of the time, and I got 2 sides tonight. The one game I am basically, having just seen both of these teams play, and if there's a common denominator, watch them both closely, because Vegas got killed at Philly with a backup goalie who hadn't played for 2 years, and Vegas was a complete no-show.
Yep.
And then Vegas pulls the goalie, and Leonard played great the whole game, and then went swimming across the net and let a garbage goal in, and they lost in overtime 2-1. I go under the total, Philly and Chicago. Elliott played well in the game against Vegas. Leonard played well in the game against Vegas. 6.5. I don't know. That total to me looks like I think that number should be 6 under, and it's 6.5 under. I'll take the under 6.5 in the Philly Chicago game.
Yeah, I can lean that way. Do you have an opinion on either Arizona and the Islanders straight pick 'em, or what do we have? Carolina and the Blue Jackets.
The Islanders have gotten their act together a little bit, but oh, by the way, sitting there going, here they go again. I spent the better part of the summer saying, in the West, there's always new teams that make the playoffs, and the teams, to me, the two I thought the goaltender Leonard was going to help in Chicago, but I said the team that's absolutely heading the right way is Arizona, and here they come out of the gate, lose the first two, go, here they go again, can't shoot it in the ocean. Well, whoa, hold on. Their last 4 games, they've scored 4, 5, 5, and 3. They're on a 4-game heater.
Kessel's starting to play.
You know what? I like Arizona. And I'll tell you what do we got there? Let me double check it. What's that total?
5.
What?
5. Like King Kong Bundy, buddy. 5 count. Yeah,
that's
5.
Nuts.
Yeah, it's 5.
They've scored 5 goals in their last 4 games, and the Islanders have scored 3 in their last 4. How is that total 5?
You know what, Brian? Sold. You got me. Arizona. Arizona.
But how do you not go over 5? No, but how do you not go over 5?
5's too low. I could see Arizona winning a 4-3 hockey game. I think everyone talks about the Islanders and their defense and blah, blah, blah. They're at home. You're right. In Arizona, the only thing I worry about is them scoring that first goal and playing, very, very defensive. But it's total's still low. It's 5, and you're right. The Coyotes are in good form. They're scoring. Their special teams is much improved. So, yes, Arizona, lean to the Coyotes on the side, and we got to go over 5. I'm with you. I agree with you.
It's early in the year, buddy, but there are opportunities aplenty on Frozen Pond.
Oh, big time. This is like I'm going to say this, Brian. We've been doing the show. It's a tough card. Like, I'm looking at these games, Washington, Edmonton. Does Edmonton respond? Florida and Calgary, I like the Panthers, but Calgary's at home. Philly and Blackhawks, as you say, dog's breakfast. You could flip a coin there. I want to take the Ducks. Quack, 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 plus 130 against Dallas, but, Dallas at home. Minnesota, Nashville, Predators, they're minus 180. It's a tough card tonight, but I think we found some nice angles with the Sharks and the attacking after the end of the game and the anger going into Montreal. Arizona hot. They're on a little bit of a Tootsie Roll playing the Islanders. The Sabres, your Sabres are on fuego. They're very hot, so we'll take them in New York against a Ranger team that totally hasn't figured it out yet. So we don't have to play every game on the board, but there's a few that stand out for sure.
No, I mean, I love doing this with you. We hope you folks enjoy it. The bottom line is I came in and the games I identify, I like my 2 sides. I usually play totals. I couldn't come up with it. We just start yapping, talking, hash it out, and some of the things that make sense. Like I'm going to add them to the card. I like the under in the Philly-Chicago game, and I like the over in the Arizona Islanders game. So there you go.
Yeah, we got it. So, yeah, I got like a nice little 4 or 5 pack, Brian. We could find something else, make it a true 6-pack there, but I love where we're going. So Buffalo, San Jose, Arizona Islanders over, lean to the Coyotes. I love it, buddy. And I'm probably going to take Florida Calgary over too. 6 seems a little bit low. Florida can score, and you know what Calgary does at home? They play pond-style hockey up and down. It's more like a shinny game. I could see 8-9 goals in that game, like 5-4 type of shootout there.
There he is. He's Cam Stewart. I'm Brian Blessing. We hope you enjoyed it. We love talking about hockey with you right here.
You've been listening to the Hockey Betting Podcast, presented by BetChrisCanada.net.
For outstanding information and special offerings and promotions, we invite you and encourage you to sign up for our newsletter today simply by going to the website, BetChrisCanada.net.
The handicapping and sports odds information contained on this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Please confirm the wagering regulations in your jurisdiction, as they vary from state to state, province to province, and country to country. Using this information to contravene any law or statute is prohibited. The podcast is not associated with, nor is it endorsed by any professional or collegiate league, association, or team. This podcast does not target and is not intended for an audience under the age of 18. If you think that you have a gambling addiction, stop this podcast now and please seek help.
Gambling and betting on sports is a form of entertainment and should be about having a good time. But when done excessively, it may negatively affect other areas of a person's life, such as their physical and mental health, school or work performance, finances, and/or interpersonal relationships. At BetChrisCanada.net and the Hockey Betting Podcast, we're concerned about the addiction that gambling may cause, and for this reason, we encourage everyone to practice responsible gambling, an approach to gambling that helps you ensure that it remains an enjoyable activity. Here are the main principles of responsible gambling. Don't think of gambling as a way to make money. Always gamble with money that you can afford to lose. Set limits and stick to them. Never chase losses. Don't gamble when you're depressed or upset, and create a healthy balance. Always be aware of how much time you spend gambling or thinking about gambling, and do not allow gambling to cause you to miss out on time with family and friends or time spent on other activities you enjoy. By following these guidelines, gambling can be a good time and great entertainment. If you feel at any time that your gambling is taking away from important areas of your life, is causing you stress or depression, or is leading to financial losses that are beyond your control, please reach out for help. Learn more at responsiblegambling.org.